Hi guys, from Pattaya, Thailand. Having a lovely Sunday afternoon here, and I just thought I wanted to share a few thoughts around cryptocurrencies and tokens. Just a couple of basic things. I think any area where you're looking to try and invest in something new, in a new commodity, a new currency, a new share, a new investment of any sort, you want to understand really what the future value of that particular commodity, share or currency holds. Now, in the cryptocurrency space, you can roughly split the market into two. You can split it into much more than that, but in two main sectors, which are currencies firstly, which is merely a way of exchanging value between two parties using the blockchain, using the distributed technology of the blockchain, which means that the transactions are immutable, they are 100% confirmable. You don't need any knowledge of the party whom you're dealing with. The problem of double spending has been dealt with because of the distributed consensus that the various nodes in the blockchain achieve. So a currency is a coin such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, Dash, Pivx, Zcash, Zcoin, to name but a few, which allow you to simply transfer value, store value, transfer it from peer to peer with no intermediary, because the blockchain, which is distributed, which is anonym, completely takes care of the security of those transactions. The second part in the cryptocurrency space, the second type of commodity or currency, are the tokens. Now, tokens are typically, like Ethereum is the most well-known token, tokens are typically tools or commodities which give you the right to participate in a particular blockchain space. In other words, it's supposed to have a value of use. For instance, if you want to draw up your own smart contracts, enable storage and flow and transfer of any other form of value, not only currency, any business process, any other peer-to-peer transaction, any smart contracts. So the tokens typically enable you to work in that space and to make use of that particular technology which is running on the particular blockchain which backs that token. Now, at the moment, the cryptocurrency market is really lumping all of these together. The tokens are backing technologies which are really only in alpha and perhaps beta phase. So the business-wide adoption are still extremely early days. So that if businesses and if industry as abroad haven't yet adopted all these technologies, the same we could talk about the internet 20 years ago. The true value has not yet found its feet, so to speak. The potential is there, and at this point in time, because of that potential, people are trading, accumulating and speculating in these currencies. Now, keep in mind that whenever a new technology forms, that is going to be the case. Important thing is to do a lot of research. I truly believe it's important to get into this space, but I believe it's important to do your own research. Try and identify the token economy around these tokens before you invest in them. Otherwise, you will just be trading and speculating yourself as well. And you're up against big players, you're up against bots, which could really make a meal of you if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't watch the markets on a regular basis, almost an ongoing basis. Now, I'm personally trying to accumulate, I'm focusing on accumulating my long-term coins, my long-term tokens, which I believe in the potential and which I believe in as far as future adoption is concerned. I think when it comes to value transfer tokens or coins specifically, like your Bitcoin, etc., the wonderful thing about how the blockchain enables you to store and to transfer this wealth without any possibility of any third-party involvement. In other words, your tokens, your coins that you store on the blockchain are completely free from any intervention, because the blockchain is completely a distributed, decentralized system which belongs to the people, so to speak. And there's no way that anyone can lay a hold of your coins to confiscate any of your currencies, your tokens. So it's a very safe way outside the current financial and government systems. I'm not talking about doing funny things like money laundering. I'm not talking about doing illegal things or even trying tax evasion. But it's just a way with which I'm much more comfortable keeping my funds, storing my funds. I mean, over the past week we've had a very newsworthy event in South Africa, probably one of the biggest corporate scandals in South Africa's history, with Steinhoff shares falling now over 90%, I believe, I'm told, because of certain accountancy issues, mal-reporting, misrepresentation of revenues and things which have come to light. Now, Steinhoff is one of the top 15 companies on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And so, like, the government employees pension fund in South Africa actually has 9 or 10% of the shares in Steinhoff. So that was supposed to be part of people's pension money. So that just tells you the long-term view that investors took in a company that sort of was believed to offer the kind of security that we're looking for in the long term. Guys, if that can happen to Steinhoff, I mean, that happened to Lehman Brothers. We all know, most of us know, the subprime mortgage lending and how banks either failed or were bailed out there. Large companies like Enron, accounting, disclosure debacles in the past. So what kind of security do we really have in any area where we are investing? And that's why the potential of the blockchain, not only for storing and transferring value, but also for keeping it safe, because the blockchain really is practically unhackable, because a version of the truth is stored on thousands of nodes all across the world. And if you want to change a record on that ledger, you need to go and change it on every single one of those nodes. Otherwise, the other nodes will just not accept any of the changes that you made. It's got to be made everywhere. It's practically impossible because there's no central body in charge of this thing. That's why I'm also actually much more comfortable with the future value of a currency such as Bitcoin over even the US dollar. Now, those are just a couple of thoughts from my side. I believe I've shared everything that I'd like to share. I hope you found this fairly useful. I think that if you look at over the past 9 or 10 years since Bitcoin started, many other cryptocurrencies and tokens have also come to light. You've seen different waves of adoption. It was firstly, the tech geeks, and then it started to move more into space of people like me that are just sort of a bit more traditional investors, people with other interests, people seeing the potential in the actual blockchain to change the way we are doing things today for the better. And you're starting to now see corporate interest as well. For instance, with the futures exchange that's starting this week on 2 of the world's largest exchanges. Now, futures exchange doesn't mean they will be investing in Bitcoin specifically, but I do see that as one step closer to larger scale corporate and industry adoption. There's even talk of an expectation in different sectors that we might be starting to see more funds and even pension funds starting to accumulate exposure in this space of cryptocurrencies. So yeah, that's it from my side. I hope you guys have a great Sunday, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you soon. Please do feel free to get in touch, drop me a message if there's any thoughts from your side you'd like to share, any advice you would like, perhaps not advice, but anything that I've learned so far that I might be able to assist you with. And yeah, have a wonderful week.